Wilson, when was the last time you cried?
What is that?
When I had a death in my family.
How long ago was that? If you don't mind me asking.
Many years. Many years. I don't know, maybe a decade, something like that.
Right. So you haven't shed a tear in a decade.
I don't think so. No.
Would you see it inherently as a weakness in a man to over-emote?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Men, listen. You don't want men to fall to pieces in a crisis. You're the head of a family. You're the head of your household, and also you're the heads of nations. You have a moral obligation not to fall to pieces. In fact, I would say you're duty bound not to. You need to be able to control your emotions, and you need to be able to attempt to control them at all times. It's not to say that you're not going to lose control. Nobody's perfect. But I think that the idea of the stoic man is a much better prospect for the idea of like this leftist that I'm arguing with next to me on the panel. I would not want to be that guy, that person who just cannot control their internal emotions. They can't do it. And unfortunately, again, this is through the viewpoint of the feminine prism that it's only through empathy, right? Empathy first. And it's like, no, it's not always about empathy. It's also about reason. It's also about logic. It's also about understanding that we live in a carnal world full of warring tribes who are always killing each other. And that's part of the human condition. You can't afford to have your men losing control to emotion.
Okay,
I agree with some points that he had just mentioned, but let's go over it. Her, I don't know her name. Really don't care for her name. None of my business. But she said something about, she doesn't want her man to be overtly emotion or reactive, right? And she says, who's me to tell you what a man should be? Perfect. I like that she said that. Perfect. Because you should not be doing it. You don't know what a man's life is. So good on you for that one. Right? Listen, evil comes through the woman. It's written in the Bible. Okay? It's in the Bible. They are the first to judge you. And they will judge you accordingly. Because they are playing God. Once Eve ate the apple, she know no good and evil. She become just like God. She can judge. But you're not supposed to judge. Are you now? So guess what? Because women have made the devil their God, and it's written in the Bible, I should put enmity between the female seed and the snake field. You shall both be enemy for the rest of your life. And the reason for that is because women go in their imagination. And by Eve taking the apple, it caused that friction. They have fallen away from God, and Adam is subjective to the woman. So when a woman's going to tell you, oh, I want you to be emotional, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, that's the evil in her, controlling you to be subjective to her. When that's not your nature. Your nature is of God. No emotions. Emotions are not from God. It's from the devil, the thoughts, the deceiver that the woman have made her God. So you're going to listen to the deceiver, which is in the woman? Or are you going to go back to your father because you will fall away from him because his wisdom flowed through you, the man? You're supposed to be the leader like Andrew Wilson said. Which are you going to do? It's up to you to choose. Are you going to work on yourself or keep chasing the woman that's going to keep leading you into hell? That makes your life miserable. Now to the point that Andrew has made. Now I forgot the points. He made a point here that I wanted to touch on.
It's through the viewpoint of the feminine prism that it's only through empathy, right?
I have to go back a little bit more.
And listen, you don't want men to fall to pieces in a crisis. You're the head of a family. You're the head of your household. And also you're the heads of nations. You have a moral obligation not to fall to pieces.
True.
In fact, I would say you're duty bound not to. You need to be able to control your emotions, and you need to be able to...
There we go. Control emotions. You cannot control your emotions. No matter how hard you try, you can't control it. That's why society is so erratic. You hear this guy, oh, I feel like, so I just killed this guy. My emotions, they say they were abused as child coming up, and that's what caused them to act out. Because of their emotions, they can't control it. But you can, because it's a spirit. You've identified with that spirit for so long when you were a kid, when you were traumatized, because you were traumatized, you have identified the spirit that was passed down to you from your mom, because she's the emotional one. She passed it down to you, and the you can try to control it as much as you want. You cannot. You go into thoughts, get the emotions, then get the action. Because you can't get the emotions without the thought. You're judging yourself, and you're judging the situation, which makes you go into thoughts. Then you get the action. Then you get the emotion, I should say. Then the action flows. The only way to get rid of that spirit that you have identified with, the not you, is for you to seek after God. And He will shine the light on it for you, and He'll be able to take it away from you. You yourself can't do it. Therapy can't do it, because the more you go to therapy, the more you go deeper into it. Because now you're into thoughts, you're talking about your problem, and you keep identifying with the same problem when you go to therapy or when situations happen in your life. Because you cannot see the devil coming from a mile away to set you up. Amazing, isn't it?
It's only through empathy, right? Empathy first. And it's like, no, it's not always about empathy. It's also about reason. It's also about logic. It's also about understanding that we live in a carnal world full of warring tribes who are always killing each other.
People are evil.
That's part of the human condition. You can't afford to have your men losing control to emotion.
Okay,
to empathy.
James,
it makes society go crazy.
Let's just flip the question.
I haven't cried today, but I did cry yesterday, and I think it's okay to cry. And it's funny that you keep trying to goad me and saying that I don't have control of my emotions. I think I have incredible control over my emotions because I know what's upsetting me.
So why you're crying?
And I'm able to talk about it.
Well, how often do you cry?
I mean, not all the time, but
every day?
No, not.
It's funny thing is, it's the not him that's crying, and he's identified with the not him for so long. It controls him, and he's crying. But I understand. I hope the Lord help you, my guy. Any woman you get with, it will not last. She's gonna see you as a female, unfortunately. But it's true.
Everyday Piers. I cried yesterday. I probably haven't cried for about 3 weeks before that. But honestly, my therapist tells me I need to cry, and it's a good relief.
But the point being, Andrew hasn't cried in 10 years.
He has a therapist.
That's a weakness, Andrew, that you haven't cried.
He has a therapist.
Like, that's
crazy.
Just told me I could cry. I'm so worried about you. I can't understand. Well, you're crying now, and please, I happily facilitated that for you.
I think we're seeing the two extremes.
And it's not helping.
It's honestly, yeah, Tommy, you're so right. There's no nuance. I mean, it's difficult to have nuance on this show anyway, but we do need to find some in this debate.
I think the point is, men should not feel they can never emote, but also they shouldn't be encouraged to believe if they're not constantly emoting, there's something wrong with them.
Well, of course, but also
that's where the pendulum has just gone too far.
You are also sort of guilty of this manosphere, Piers. You're very much in the manosphere yourself.
What do you think that means?
Well, it means that you think James Bond shouldn't cry, and if he does, that's a weakness.
I want James Bond to be. I want him to seduce women.
Which he does.
I want him to be a ruthless, steely-eyed dealer of death to bad guys.
But also,
I want him to have a cigarette with his whiskey or his shaken monster martini.
Maybe Andrew is your type.
And I don't want him sobbing like a baby all the time. I don't.
Like Tommy might.
Because guess what? When you're in Her Majesty's Secret Service, you don't have time to cry all the time.
Very sad news about Her Majesty, Piers. Sadly, she did pass away, and I'm sure you cried at that, which is completely
His Majesty
right.
now.
Tommy.
Actually, the last Bond film was under Her Majesty, so I was correct.
Fine. Great fact checking. Tommy would obviously like to go out with a man like you then, because you don't think it's okay for a man to cry.
She has excellent taste.
But there are other women who do like a man who cries. Like, we're not all the same. We don't all require the same type of man. So it's fine if we all want to be different types of men, but there shouldn't be one rule for all men, and that's the problem.
All right, let me bring Sean back.
Women lied to this guy. His mom lied to him. Every woman he's been with lied to him. Unfortunately, he's a beta male. He's a simp. And every woman he gets with is going to see him as a female. Not even this woman would even think twice. Even when she was younger, think twice to be with him. He's looking at him as weak,